Hi everyone, this is Dr. Ashish Shaikh, celebrating the 90th birthday anniversary of Dr. Hamer. And today I am going to present to you the approach towards the spinal, the vertebral problems, from the cervical spondylitis to the upper thorax problems to lumbar spondylitis. And also, the same patient had osteoarthritis of the knee. So, my dear friends, let's learn how we should approach in such a type of cases. When patient comes in all these pains and he's complaining of the neck pain, the upper back pain, the lower back pain, the knee pain. And this is what I'm going to illustrate from my PowerPoint presentation. So let's learn how we should go ahead in this type of cases and give them complete relief. So, again, celebrating the World GNM GHK Day. That's the 90th birth anniversary of Dr. Hammer. Has been 90 years he's been striving hard to pass on his knowledge to the world so that the fear of disease is not there in people's mind. And that's very, very important, my dear friend, because a smallest disease shakes up. But when we have a knowledge about that disease, we really get a lot of confidence and we know that we are going to heal and is nothing but just a survival mechanism. Gratitude to Dr. Hahnemann, the founder of homeopathy, because of which I have been able to give better and better results in most of the pathologies. And one who founded homeopathy, and it has been a boon to humanity. And again, Dr. Ryke Hamer, who has taught us the knowledge of disease, because without the knowledge of disease, we would have not known and we would have continued to fear disease. So, this is what we need to know in our life. We have to be there to be wise. My dear doctors and friends, if you know your disease knowledge well, and then if you know how the medicine is going to act, then there is nothing, absolutely nothing to fear. So, all about spine and spinal conflicts and its solutions with case illustrations. A case of lumbar and cervical spondylitis. So, Mrs. 47 years female, a government officer, presenting complaints pain in the lumbar region since 2020, location lumbar, sensation throbbing, aggravation bending and aggravation by lying down, neck pain for 15 days, sensation cramping pain with heaviness in shoulders, ambulation by pressure, pain in an upper back since 2022, again November, sensation of crampy pains, ambulation by massage, acupressure, and heat application. Both knee pain since 2 years, sensation pulsating pain, aggravation walking, standing for long, ascending stairs, and amelioration by rest and massage. So the bones, the new mesoderm, organ controlled by the brain is the cerebral medulla. The conflict which affects the bone is self-worth and self-devaluation conflict. And what happens after the in the conflict active phase, there is cell loss, or what we say is osteolysis and osteoporosis. The healing occurs, as we know, the healing phase by the bacterias. So, what GNM says about it? A word of caution. When we apply GNM, when you are sitting for the case history, we should not immediately convert the say of the patient into rubrics. Instead, you should take the feel of the patient. What exactly the patient is going to through the adaptation, because of which he is getting changes in his body and getting sick. So we should know how the patient is perceiving that situation. And if he's perceiving in the form of devaluation and loss of self-worth, then the bones get affected. So, in this case, what we saw is the patient had a lower back pain. So, we need to know the cause behind it. So, the cause in German new medicine is unsupported. The lower back is also associated with feeling unsupported, not backed up by a family member, partner, friend, teacher, colleague, or an employer. Down is the illustration how it is written down in the learninggnm.com. This is from learninggnm.com website. In this case, when I asked the patient what was the cause, so she said, my first marriage was not successful. So I took decision of second marriage in 2020. That time I said to my family members that you people did not give me proper attention. So they did not enthusiastically participate in finding the groom for my second marriage. Brother said, I will not support you because if any mishap happens, you will blame me. My sister helps all the relatives for marriage purpose, but she never helped me in this. That time I was greatly discouraged by their behavior, and so I am still unmarried. So, what do you understand from the points which I am reading now? This is like she needed her support from the sister and the brother for the second marriage. But because she did not have a second marriage, she was sad, she was disappointed, and she was disappointed more because she was unsupported, not supported, not backed up by the brother and sister whose support she wanted, and that made her lose her confidence. So here in nutshell, we understand the exact conflict active situation which has been mentioned in the learninggnm.com. So no one can create negative stress within us. This is very, very, very important slide. No one can create negative stress within us. Only your own perception or your virtue of how you process your world, you land up into crisis. So I always say that when a situation arises, please be calm, please analyze it, be aware, acknowledge, and try to pull out from those situations. So, perceived stress, unsupported feeling, devaluation, cortisol or adrenaline diverts the blood flow from intestine and kidney, hampers the calcium absorptions, less calcium to the bone, it leads to osteoporosis. This is how the conventional medicine understands how the osteoporosis happens. So, do you think why there is cell loss? During the conflict active stress, the bone becomes weak because the affected bone decalcifies, creating gaps and holes in the bones, osteolysis. The degree of osteolysis depends on the degree of intensity of the conflict or stress. How intense you perceive it, how intense is the shock, determines how bad there is going to be a cell loss. What is the cause then with her in the cervical pain? We understood the lower back. Now, what happened to the neck? So, we need to know about that also. So, learning GNM says failing an intellectual task at school, at work, condescending remarks of the teachers, coaches, employers, colleagues, a parent, or a partner, which affects her self esteem, making a person feel slow and stupid. In Hindi, if somebody understands Hindi, we call it man and samman. You have to walk with your neck straight. But as soon as you have to force yourself or you push yourself to bend your neck or you bow down in front of others, but you don't intend to, causes stress on your cervical area. When we asked about the cause to the patient, she said, I'm in a government job. One day I was accused of taking a bribe, which I did not take. I was extremely affected that time. I had fear that people will think about me. I still am in that fright mode. So the patient is always on the alert mode. You can imagine how stressful being in alert 24 hours must be, causing harm to her body. And her sleep, her sympathetic activity must be at the peak. There will be no parasympathetic activity. There will be no rest and regeneration. There will be no relaxation. What is this going to do? Naturally, create more of stress and tension and spasm to the area which is involved in the conflict. I was and still in a fear that police will come and arrest me. What if this happens? I always used to find a way to get out from them. People who have an occupation that is intellectually demanding, scholars, academics, writers, and others whose self-worth is built on their intellectual achievements, are more prone to these type of pain. And this is exactly what happened to our patient. She was going through all these non-appreciating and condensating and non-supportive situations. Academically, overambitious are more susceptible to the experience of the same. Naturally, a government job, and she wanted to go ahead in her life, achieve more success, made her go through all these crises. Neck plane conflict, the DHS, intellectual self devaluation. These are some of the examples, or this is how people perceive. So I just took this few ones which are the most common. I am not smart enough. So many times we think and we say, I am not smart enough, and then you dwell and brood over it. I made a mistake. I should have not done this. I should have not said this. I should have not behaved like this. I should have not gone there. Is I made a mistake. I am worried about making a mistake, even worry of not making mistakes and then performing a work and continuous being on the high alert of not being able to perform well also causes devaluation. This is not fair. This has happened to me. This is not what I expected. I put my heart and soul into this situation, but or this work, and it is not working. This is not fair. The world does not behave fair with me. The GNM of the upper back now. So she had cervical, she had lower back. Now we'll see what comes on the upper back. Central self-evaluation, the conflict that shatters the core of oneself, humiliating and degrading treatment, not being appreciated or patted for what she has done. So, in our patient, she was not appreciated, she was not supported, she had an intellectual self evaluation, makes us understand that yes, the vertebrae and the spinal column and the muscles of the back are getting affected because of the devaluation and self worth conflict, leading into osteoporosis and osteolysis or bone breakdown. So the conflict stress found in our patient, discouraged after not being supported by the family and colleagues, feels accused for what she has not done, has fear that she will be caught by police, and wants to escape from that situation by taking transfers. हाँ और बोलो है हाँ, तो एसी भी चल रहा है So GNM of the knees. She also had knee problem. Physical performance conflict, not performing up to our standards or expectations of a coach, parents or spouse, not able to climb the ladder of success, losing a game, humiliating remarks, feeling less mobile. Here is what we spoke to her regarding her knee, and she said that she is not able to climb the ladder of success. She's stuck there in the job. There is no promotions and transfers happening. And those promotion and transfers were very, very, very important for my progress in my life. When we asked about the cause, she says, I want to take transfers at any cost so that I will come out of this stress. I've already applied twice for the transfer process, but it's not happening. My colleagues did not support me that time. They are not helping me in the work and the transfer process. So, see how the things match. Every bit what we know about GHK matches, and because it is everything which is so truthful, it is in nature, our body responds to those situations because every organ, every joint has its own function. So now when we go into analysis and understanding what happened to our patient, how did she feel, homeopathic way is mind, she was discouraged. Delusion, she was pursued. Pursued, why? She felt all the time there is police who will come and trap her. Fear of being arrested. She always had that fear. These are the rubrics taken from our repertory in homeopathy. Delusion pursued, he was police by. Always she had that perception that the police will come and catch her. And she always wanted to escape from this situation, which kept her on a high alert. So these were the remedies which came in. The first four covered almost everything. We analyzed it further and we understood that she was always discouraged in her life. There was people or the police behind her. She had that fear of being arrested, and the police were behind her. As we knew and read that she wanted to escape from this, and worst thing is she was accused. She was false accused. She was said that she does all the mistakes and she takes bribes. So she was accused falsely. And the rubric, this is how beautiful this rubric is. Delusion devil persecuted by devil for the crime he has never done. She was being punished for the crime she had never done. So clear picture and a clear selection was Zinkum met. There was domination in the office by the seniors, and they also persecuted and troubled her. They tormented her and they accused her. So the final remedy which I gave was Zinkum Met 1 mg, 3 doses, and plussing doses whenever it was required, whenever there used to be a little spike of pain or mental crisis. So final Zinkum Met was used. Thank you. This is more details of my clinics, and thank you so much. I wish you once again a very happy celebration of his Dr. Hamer's birthday, and I end my topic. Thank you.